can get this underway. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner. We have our first semi-finalist of the SC2 Online Community Open, number 142. We have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red German Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is ForJumy. We go. And we did just wrap up a very aggressive PvP with Night Phoenix versus Arts, but I imagine things are going to be a little bit more stable and a little bit more calm in the early hours, in the early minutes of this game. We're going to be seeing a 2-gate opener here from Krystianer, 2-gate opener from ForJumy, but from here we'll see where they take us. We did see that ForJumy did actually go for some pretty more mid-game styles against Eba earlier. At no point did ForJumy ever try to go all in or go for a proxy. It was just 2-gate into a natural, into blink, into a third, into a fourth. Like, it was pretty straightforward blink play out of ForJumy. So I imagine that's going to continue to be the case here. Meanwhile, my eyes are on Krystianer to spice things up. Krystianer, he is one to be a little bit more assertive if he sees an opportunity to do so. So we'll see. We'll see how our two Protoss players do differ. Oh, as predictions are open in the chat, so place your bets on how you think this PvP is going to unfold. I think by the time you hear this message, the predictions are already going to be closed, but the gamba, papi. Get the gamba going. Let's go. As for now, we do have Krystianer opening up double Stalker. Likewise, we have double Adept from ForJumy. We saw a lot of double Adept in ForJumy's series against Eba, if you recall. With 2 Adepts, you can get economic damage done. Basically, the role here is ForJumy is going to be getting across the map. His goal is going to be to bypass these Stalkers and to threaten the main base. Ideally, slip in and kill some workers, get an economic lead. Meanwhile, it's on Krystianer to catch the Adepts, to catch them, to shut them down, and to be able to fortify himself and get into a stable early to mid game. Here we go. As the Adepts are moving out, and it looks like they may come across a probe. Up, the move command. The probe barely does escape. No shot. Barely does escape here. And the Adepts have been spotted. Stalkers are moving in to try to intercept. So far, good moves out of Krystianer, but alas, he does overshoot and he does miss the Adepts. And now these Stalkers are out of position, and ForJumy is making his way towards the bases, towards the main. We do wall off in time. Probe does survive. The Adepts, they commit to the shade. They're trying to work their way through that shield battery. But the Stalkers, they arrive just in time. It looks like we're going to be punishing ForJumy. 1 Adept goes down. ForJumy does get at least one Adept out of there, but he does get shut down in general. Krystianer going into blink, going for a Twilight Council follow-up. Meanwhile, ForJumy, interesting, not going for a Twilight Council, going for a Robo. Very interesting choice here from our red Protoss. Now, with this Prism, we can actually get Fairy Adepts into the main and bypass the wall, bypass the ramp, and get economic damage done that way. Meanwhile, the Hallucination does come in. We get eyes on the tech of choice. We confirm the Robo. We don't see the first unit of choice, but I'm sure we can piece together that, of course, a Prism is an opportunity, is available for ForJumy. There we go. There are the Adepts. As I mentioned before, the role here of this Prism and these Adepts is to try to slip into the main to get damage done. Krystianer moving out, hoping to try to find that Prism. As Krystianer once again overshoots, just barely does miss the War Prism, just barely. And ForJumy, he's getting in. He's slipping into the main base. No shield battery. We do delay the third base initially. We're going for the Sentry. Sentry taking a hit. Is going to survive for the time being here. We see 2 workers going down. ForJumy forced to blink or shade out of there. The Prism, no! Unfortunate movement. The War Prism is going to be shut down. Krystianer only losing 2 workers, keeps his Sentry alive, shuts down the Prism. But here comes ForJumy going for a 2-base all-in. He went up to, what, 4 gateways? Yeah, 4 gateways on 2 bases. We have sentries, we have the Immortal, but we don't have the Prism to reinforce. That was huge, actually. That takes a lot of the wind out of the sails of ForJumy. And do we commit to a base trade? ForJumy has arrived here at the 3rd. Meanwhile, Krystianer is pushing towards the natural. Now, either player could recall. Either player can recall, and it looks like Krystianer will. He recalls back home. Here comes the army of ForJumy going straight for the rover. The boys are being pulled. Good force field. But we have Blink. Yeah, we bypass the force fields. Get on top of some of these sentries. The boys are being pulled back. And we have plenty of army, plenty of DPS and firepower here. ForJumy being forced back once again. The Immortal! The Prism! Prism barely goes down, saves the Immortal a little bit longer, but it looks like Krystianer, he's gonna shut this down. Completely, a lot of workers are falling though. That's 17 dead probes. And Krystianer is still ahead in workers. GG gets called. ForJumy was completely all in, and Krystianer takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. So we are going to be getting ready for game number 2. And game 2 will be taking place on Golden Aura. Ooh, and Krystianer, he's one game away from advancing onto the grand finals. Meanwhile, ForJumy has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. The pressure is on. Why is everyone pro? I mean, what are the big other races that we're missing here today? Like, other big names, I should say, that we're missing here today. Wayne, you know, Wayne, he does pop in every now and then to represent the Zerg race in some of these online weeklies. Who else are we missing from the Terran side of things? Battle B, Cuckoo, you know, some of these other European Terrans. They pop in every now and then. I mean, to be fair, we have an update. We have the lower semifinals. Hon Mono, it went the distance. He went to the ace match against Middle VK, but he did win the series there, which means we still have 1 non-Protoss left in the tournament. But for now, we still have to determine who is the first to make it to the finals, because spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. 1 game away from taking the series. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. He has to fight back here and now. It is ForJumy. Who are we doing this for? ForJumy. Here we go. As we have that double gateway opener here from our red Protoss, double gate opener from our blue Protoss as well, as to be expected. So far, everything's looking normal. But again, I did mention before, my condolences to Middle VK. Again, it went all the way to the ace match, went to game 3. But Middle VK has been eliminated from the tournament, and the most honorable of honorables, the South Korean Terran living in Hapon in Japan, is, yeah, waiting in the lower semis. Lying in wait, we will be heading over to that lower semis match after this one. We will get there. But now, Probe is going to be dipping in, getting a scout of the main. Does get eyes on the second pylon, so no proxy pylon from Krystianer. Likewise, we do have ForJumy soon, with no proxy pylon either. So it blended into the gas. I was like, wait, what? I was like, am I blind? I was blind. I was, but there it is. Second pylon's in the main, and Krystianer just confirmed that as well. So everything's looking normal. We have a double stalker opener here from Krystianer, double adept from ForJumy. And it's going to be on ForJumy to get some economic damage done. Basically a mirror of game 1. Same thing, same opener as game number 1 so far. And we'll see if ForJumy can have a little bit more success with this. Ooh, as we are committing, we're doubling down. This is not just 2 adepts, we can go up to 4. Behind this, we can even go up to 6 or even 8 adepts as well. So, yeah, ForJumy being that much more aggressive here. Meanwhile, Krystianer going 2-gate opener straight into the expansion. Very greedy, very economic opener here from Krystianer. A lot of Protoss players, they do like to throw down tech first, but no, both players do go for the faster expansions. I mean, Golden Aura is a more defendable map, especially because of how narrow this entry point is towards the natural. And both players are looking to take advantage of that. And as move out, they are spotted by Krystianer. He does see 4 Adepts on the move. Meanwhile, he does keep on pushing with those Stalkers. ForJumy turning back around, though. But what's the Stalkers? They get into the main. No shot. They just waddle on in. They get 1 worker kill. They force a cancel. The Adepts, they have to turn back around. They have to race back home. It's going to be 2 dead workers. We're going to get a 3rd. Can we get a 4th? We recall. And Adepts, they tickle Stalkers. Both Stalkers, they do recall back home. Very nice damage here. Krystianer, he didn't just deal economic damage, but he also delayed the attack of ForJumy. And we can see here it is only going to be 4 Adepts. It was 4 Adepts into some sentries. Adepts are moving out. They get spotted by Hallucination. Hallucination comes in and we'll get eyes on the follow-up tech. Krystianer, he does see the blink is on the horizon. And that he has the faster blink as well. Does confirm that the Twilight Council is delayed. ForJumy, he has to commit. Whether we go for the main or the natural, we could go for either or. For now, we do cancel. Krystianer is able to keep up. Again, there's going to be a small window where he has blink and his opponent doesn't. Not the biggest of windows. I don't think it's going to be too impactful. Hallucination comes in from ForJumy. Does also confirm the 2-base saturation as well as the Twilight Council with the research. So he's aware that it should be blink versus blink. ForJumy doubles down though. He may have later blink, but we do have a Dark Shrine on the way. When behind Dark Shrine, let's go. And we'll see if he's able to catch Krystianer with his pants down. Even before we get into that though, that's a lot of Stalkers. Looking at the units tab here, we have 10 Stalkers from Krystianer against the 3 of his opponents. Krystianer building up a pretty hefty army. The downside though, Forge is on the way for +1, so Krystianer, he's doubling down on Stalker production, which would be fine. But where's the robo? Where is the detection? Proxy pylon gets thrown down. Krystianer, he does come across the pylon though. He's going to be able to deny it. Does force a cancel. Hallucination, I thought was going to go for a scout across the map, but instead we're chasing these Adepts. Krystianer getting a little bit distracted. Robo's on the way. But I want to say that we can get some DTs in here before the robo finishes, before the observer finishes. 2 workers go down. Dark Shrine is just now finishing up and show us the DTs. Unfortunately, there's no proxy pylon to just send it across the map. There we go. We have 2 Dark Templar on the way. Robo still in production here for Krystianer. Is going to be pushing. Looking at the units tab. Oh, again, he still has a very, very large Stalker lead. Do have a couple of hallucinations. And the hallucinations, they are going to be tanking some of the Stalker shots. But the hallucinations go down, and we still have just an overwhelming Stalker army. Krystianer, he's going to force a cancel, look to force a cancel at the 3rd. At the same time, here comes the Dark Templar. But we have a cannon. We have 1 cannon in position, 1 DT goes down, the other slips into the main base. So we have an observer on the chase. Looks like Krystianer, he does back up, he does respect the main army. DTs, they get 2 workers, they're going to get a 3rd. 4 dead probes. Is that enough though, as we get a kill on the 3rd base of ForJumy? Krystianer, he still has an insane Stalker lead. He's getting his own 3rd behind this. Detection everywhere. Cannons being thrown down. And Krystianer, he can keep pushing, to be honest. There is not much holding him back. Here we go. ForJumy, he does have the high ground. Looking at the army composition here, we've got 13 Stalkers to the 17 of Krystianer. Krystianer does have +1. He does have the upgrade advantage. And yeah, we just dive on top of the army. No shield battery. GG. And Krystianer will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG, well played. ForJumy had a solid run here tonight, especially considering that he was unwell, that he was sick. message. As we head on over here to the America server. Sorry, I'm just very quickly moving over so I don't miss the players. But yeah, GG, well played. Krystianer does advance on to those finals. ForJumy does bow out in the semis. But what I will say is, shout out to the players, because I believe top 4 do get paid out. Not just top 4, top 8 actually. Top 8 do get paid out in this tournament, so we do walk away with something. We do walk away with some of that cash prize money. So it wasn't all for naught for ForJumy. And with that, we get ready for our lower semifinals for something that is not a PvP.